All right, quick video today on the concept of planning properly. So, I am slightly passionate on the issue of how to plan properly because back in the day, I used to have trouble being able to plan things. Like, I would often get stuck in, like, procrastinating certain projects I had to do, certain tasks. And I think planning properly is really the key to not procrastinating and getting everything done. So I'll give you an example, right? If you're asked to do something that you have no idea how to do, let's say I want you right now to go and to make a lemonade stand and sell lemonade on the side of a busy intersection. This is a task which, if there's not an immediately super pressing deadline, you might procrastinate because it's not immediately clear uh, how you make the ideal lemonade, what glasses you put it in, how to assemble, find a table, where to put it, all this sorts of stuff. And it becomes a little bit overwhelming, and it leads you to push this project, which might be a higher priority than a different project. Like, let's say you want to do some dry cleaning or something. So the dry cleaning task, even though it's like not really pressing, it's not really urgent, it might become in your brain a higher priority just because you have no idea how to even get started with the lemonade stand task. So I think the trick to doing and planning projects and executing projects, it's a four-step plan, okay? Number one is brainstorming. Number two is goal setting. Number three is specific planning with specific tasks. You can have higher level planning, lower level planning. It depends on what type of work you're doing, but essentially planning. And then number four is execution. So execution is actually only the fourth step. But a lot of people who procrastinate a lot, I find that they think that execution is the first step. It's like you ask them, like, you know, why aren't your grades better, right? And they tell you, yeah, I just need to study more. I just need to do more studying. And it's like, no, because it's like, what does studying even mean? Like you have to brainstorm first of all. So the first thing you have to do is you have to Google whether with the lemonade stand or the studying. How do I best do this? How do people best do this? And you need to spend a little while brainstorming. Watching videos on the subject, reading texts on the subject. It depends on how important this task is. You could read books on the subject, and so you just need to immerse yourself with a well of knowledge by which your brain can draw and make connections. Okay, once you have done the brainstorming, and the brainstorming, for simpler tasks, less important tasks, is not super critical to be able to do, because when it comes to like, oh, how do I get someplace? Okay, you don't need to brainstorm how to get there. You're going to open up Google Maps, okay? You already know. But for many things, like the lemonade stand, the studying, it might be necessary to actually do some brainstorming first. So that's a step that is very commonly missed because you're not able to plan effectively if you lack the knowledge base in order to conceptualize a plan. Okay, second of all, you got to plan. So it's like, okay, so now that I've gotten this knowledge base, I'm going to do, I saw in this video that the quickest way to memorize something is to repeat it 10 times with your eyes closed. Okay, so now you're like, let me implement that. Let me go through this textbook. Let me find all the keywords. Okay, and this applies for the lemonade stand too. Let me find all the keywords and let me memorize. Let me memorize all the words. Repeat them 10 times. So let me pick the words, then do the memorizing task, and then that's a plan. So also goal setting, of course. Okay, so you would set the goal. So after you do all the brainstorm, you would conceptualize a goal as being like, I need to study this within a pretty efficient time. I only have like 3 hours I can really dedicate to this, blah blah blah. After you've brainstormed, you'll have a good conceptualization of what your goal should be. So you make your goal, you do your plan, and you set out specific time blocks. Selecting the words, picking the words, and memorizing them, right? And then only the last step is actually execution. So just to repeat, in order to set your sights on any sort of project and do it very efficiently, just brainstorm, make a goal, plan, and execute, okay? Don't just procrastinate and sit there and say, oh, I want to do this, but I don't know, I'm just messing around. No. Set a goal, plan, do the brainstorming, execute, okay? It's a 4-step plan, and this pretty much eliminates all procrastination unless you're doing something that you don't really want to do, which then you might still have procrastination, or maybe you're burnt out, and then in that case you might still have procrastination. But I would say probably for most people, the majority of their procrastination comes from a failure to brainstorm, a failure to goal set, and a failure to plan, not from necessarily burnout, not from doing something they don't want to do, not any of this other stuff. It's usually this like 4 steps that they're missing. And so I hope that helped you.